Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. For the Grue Rume Show today, I got two awesome guests, and they star in this film called Don't Say It. And I'm talking about Rich Grosso and Vic, Victoria Kelleher. If I said your name wrong, I apologize. They played the leads of the movie, Pat and Lara. And I'm really looking forward to talking to them about the film. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Rume Show. And my interview with the lead cast of Don't Say It will be coming up very soon. This is my Grue Room, folks, and as always, Gruelings, welcome to my nightmare. So stay tuned and let's get it started. All right. Welcome to Grue, and thank you both so much for taking time and being guests on the show. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely, yes. Oh wow, that's a nice cup. I see you're getting ready for Valentine's Day, right?
Oh, Wednesday, romance time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what this movie is all about too, about finding love, right?
It's definitely
Exactly.
it's definitely a component. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, but I don't think that's all it's about. But it's
Well,
definitely
yeah,
a main component of the film. Yes.
definitely. So I guess the first question I want to start out asking is for you both is how did you both find out about the film and then when you read the script, like what did you like most about the script?
Go ahead, Rich.
Okay. Well, I was one of the writers on the script. It's a
Oh,
story. It's a story basically loosely based on my life events, and it was kind of like my labor of love. I like to refer to it as my Rocky, my Good Will Hunting. Um, and uh, and yeah, we raised the money and we were going to make an independent film, and then I guess Victoria can kind of take it from there how she stumbled upon the circus. And
Well, one of the writers, PJ, and I did a movie together, I don't know, in 1974. A long time ago. I'm joking. I'm not that old. Stop looking at me like that. And he recommended me for one of the roles in this movie. And then some circumstances came up where the Lara character, the woman who was going to play her, couldn't. And so Rich called me and basically looked at my IMDb and said, "You seem like you get hired a lot." And because I couldn't
hey,
really,
that's good.
yeah, because I was up teaching. I teach at a kids theater camp up in Northern California. So I was up teaching and I couldn't really do any audition tapes and whatnot. So for the first time in the history of ever any actor ever, I got hired on my actual abilities.
That's awesome.
She didn't
Yeah,
have to audition. Yeah, she didn't have to
yeah,
audition at all. I knew immediately that she would just knock this role out of the park. What I
Yeah.
didn't know is because we didn't know each other is the chemistry we had on screen. It was just I mean it just pops off the screen. At least that's what I've heard from so many people. Like they think we've known each other like our
Hmm.
whole lives. I get that a lot. That I mean,
yeah,
people have asked me, well, how long you guys must have been, known each other for years ago. No, we like kind of just met, had one rehearsal. It was,
yeah,
you know, just
yeah. Quick.
the universe aligned that we worked well together on camera. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, it definitely shows. And Rich, like the next question is for you. Like you play Pat, the one of the leads of the film, and Pat basically is someone who is seeking help because of his the divorce. And I love the fact that he has a place to go to. Like he has his karaoke spot, a place to have fun and hang out. And how did you go about playing him and get into his head?
Well, like I said, the film was kind of near and dear to my heart. So even though it's not 100% accurate, there was elements of my personal life that paralleled Pat. Maybe some of them not to the extreme, Some of them actually more than the extreme, and I had to tone it back for the film. So that was it. Yeah, Pat was a guy that made a lot of mistakes, um, and he got to the point where there was pain in his life, and he place where he wasn't the man he wanted to be, and we find him during this part of the film that he was actually trying to do something about it. I don't think love was actually even in the equation for him when he met Lara, but he was just kind of smitten the second he laid eyes on her.
I mean, who wouldn't be?
Who wouldn't be?
Right, exactly. And Tori, like it's basically like the same kind of question. And I mean, you play someone who basically had early on had to leave college to tend to her sick mom and dad, and she's divorced from her man because he went with a younger person. And how did you play her and get into her head? Like a similar question to
Yeah.
Rich.
Well, interestingly, I've been married for 29 years now. So I haven't had to be in the world of dating, thank God. No, thank you. Hard pass. I'm not interested. But I think that when you boil any specific emotion, like, if you feel betrayed, like she feels betrayed by this person that she cared about, we all have that, whether it was through a divorce or through a best friend who stops talking to you and you don't know why, or,
Mhm.
you can always find the places where the emotion or the disconnect is maybe in a different part of your life. But so I could just tap into feeling left, feeling abandoned. I'm the kid of the 80s. I was barely raised by an adult person. So I could also tap into feeling just abandonment and and then just allowing it, allowing the feelings to show up when you're working. And luckily the writing helped a lot. The writing does 90% of the work if it's good.
Yeah.
And Rich gave me some freedom to improvise and feel a little more free in the words, so you know, I could express myself that way, because Mama loves to improvise, as Rich now knows.
Yeah, and she's damn good at it. It's yeah. Every day was every scene. We were in a lot of scenes together, and but she's a total pro about it. It's very respectful. Like she would walk up, and I always got the same line: "Can I pitch you something?" That was their line. Can I pitch you something? I go, yeah, lay it on me. And to her credit, she is such a professional. She did her thing, but she also did a take and where she didn't miss a comma. So
Wow.
and then so we had all of that. She gave us she was a dream to edit and post because we just had a lot of choices and a lot of ways to go.
Nice, nice. And the next question is basically for you both. I mean, for someone watching the film, like fans, me, the film definitely feels real. Like it definitely resonates because I don't care what kind of person you are. Everyone struggles. Everyone has good days and bad days, and some people get stuck in a rut. But you keep on fighting. You never give up, and you keep on going about your day, basically. And for you both, like how did this film feel to you both, and how real like the everyday struggles are?
Well, I'll
Victoria.
say, for my side of it, I turned out had influenza A and RSV for the first two. Do you remember that, Rich? For the
Yeah, I remember.
two
Yeah.
weeks of filming, or a lot of the filming, I was really sick.
Oh
Um,
my God.
yeah. So in some ways that's a curse, because obviously it's hard to do anything when you don't feel well. But in other ways, you're kind of, blown open. You don't, your immune system and your vulnerability kind of go hand in hand. And when you're feeling sick, a lot of times you can just be like, oh, well, here I am crying in public. So, so for me, it was weirdly, uh, good timing to be a little bit more vulnerable than maybe I would have been. But
Okay.
you know, I feel like all of us are in a weird place right now, just in America.
Oh yeah.
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 And the world. And the world. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, all we can do, I mean, it's part of the human, it's part of being human, is you have to keep moving forward. You have to keep finding a reason, finding a why, finding people who can support you when you feel like you're falling back, and then be the support for those people. And you know, this movie speaks to that a lot with, you know, Rich's friends in the movie, and my, I guess, TV show, or my news anchor in the movie. Um, you know, you just got to keep on keeping on, right?
Definitely. Definitely.
So yeah. Do I have a?
And
I'm sorry. Same question for me, or what was it again?
yes, yeah, the same question for you.
Uh,
Yes.
about give it to me again. I'm sorry.
No,
Give it.
it's all good. But I was saying how this movie feels real,
Yeah.
and you know, people with everyday struggles, and what
Yeah.
what did this film like mean to you, and how real it felt?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I could mirror a lot of what Victoria said, but again, you know, this film had a lot of personal elements
Hmm.
for me. Maybe not quite as exact as Pat's situation, but it paralleled a lot of things in my real life. Some of them were my past that I have already kind of worked through, and then but then some I was kind of still right in it, and it was things that I was currently working on. So,
Oh wow.
so, so for me, I mean, that's how it was for easy. It was, yeah, that's how I kind of stayed in it, and is that because there was a lot of just things that either had happened to me that I have worked through, or things that had happened to me that I'm still working through. So that's kind of my thing. Yeah, that was my.
Sorry, I had to jump out. My cat came off into the room with a loaf of bread.
Ah,
I had to. She's learned how to open cabinets.
nice.
We have child locks, and she's
That
still
You need
playing
cat locks.
it too. Dang it.
that's a very smart cat. It probably wanted food and decided to go after the bread.
Yep, yep. Loaf of bread. Just walked in the room with it in her jaws. So I apologize for leaving mid sentence there.
That's all
It's
good.
all good. It's all good. I mean, you have to take care of the cat running away with the loaf of bread. So,
Oh my God. You will not have my bread again.
and, and once again, like the question is for you both. Um, I I love how they both meet, because they kind of both meet with Pat telling a joke, and she overhears the joke and wants to hear more of it, and that's how they first meet, and they take things like very slow, but that's because they've both been hurt. And how do you both feel about like the slow pace that they both took?
Um,
Looking at the cat
go
again.
get your cat. I'll take this one, Dickie. You go get your cat. um, uh, uh,
Perpetrator, right here.
Oh, it's a cute cat.
What did you do in that cabinet?
well, for me, you know what, I just kind of, well, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. They're both injured, so they're going to
Yeah.
naturally take things slow. But me as the actor, you know, portraying that, you know, I love that. And you know who said this to me? Maybe Victoria doesn't know this, but the actress Jean Smart happened to be at our world premiere, and
Hmm.
and she walked up to me. One of the compliments she gave us about the film, or personally gave me about the film, was she loved the way that we allowed the characters to marinate. Her words, you know, not mine.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
and yeah, and you know, I think that there's just a lot of, we're kind of in a world now, you know, 5-second films, TikTok, you know, I mean, it's even hard for me, a guy from
Mhm.
an older generation, to like kind of sit through marination. But when something is real and something I think calls to you, or you connect with something when you're watching it, it's much easier to do. And yeah, I mean, like I said, as the characters, yeah, they're gonna go slow. They're not gonna jump in,
Yeah,
But
exactly.
as the actor portraying it, I think it was easy to allow these characters to marinate and take their time, and I enjoyed that part of it, you know.
I did too.
No.
Actually. I don't feel like I feel like in the old movie days, the When Harry Met Sally's and the Nora Ephron era, that was part of the journey, was that it was a slow burn and you
Yeah.
wait for the couple to finally see what everybody else sees. And
Yep.
that kind of, our short attention span theater world that we live in, it's not quite, we don't allow that in the same way. I'm finding that because, I'm boycotting Amazon, and I'm finding that Amazon is like just having things instantly. We're so
Yeah.
we're so trained, and now I'm having to find other ways to get, necessities, and having to wait the extra few days is kind of nice. Like, you kind of have that, like, ooh, I have this thing coming, instead of the instant gratification of it.
You're right.
I mean, a 7-day window to have something mailed sounds like the, Middle Ages. And now, it's like, I think we've lost a little of our patience in the world that way. And I love when a movie kind of is a slow burn like that.
Mhm. And I'm glad Victoria actually mentioned When Harry Met Sally, because I'm a big fan of the Nora Ephron, romantic comedies, and this
Oh,
was
nice.
this was
Okay.
really, yeah, I know I'm this dude that should probably like action, adventure, and horror, but I'm just a hopeless romantic, and I'm a big softie, and I cry at the drop of a hat, and this is really an homage to the films of that time, because I was
Hmm.
a huge fan of them, and I hate. I'm not trying to diss Hollywood, but my main objective for making this film, it was really a small component, was to put myself in a leading role. That was not the main component. The main component was I missed watching films like this. I missed
Hmm.
having films like this being made. And I thought, I'm from this generation that, well, if I miss it, and my generation is like a big demographic of the current population in the United States. It's huge. It's like 30%,
Yeah.
of the United States population. So if I missed it, maybe there's other people out there that say, oh crap, man, they don't make them like this. And that's definitely been, I can
Exactly.
could attest to this. I mean, people have come up to us and says, "Yeah, man, no one's making these films. I missed it. Thank you for making this film." I don't know if Vicky has gotten any of that, but that's the kind of feedback I've been getting.
Yeah. I just get, how are you so beautiful? And I'm like, listen,
Yeah,
it's
and I don't
hard.
get that nearly as much. I get that nearly as much as you do.
And, and Rich, the next question's for you. Like, in the film, Pat has jokes, and he's a good cook. He makes a mean Italian chicken. So, do you have jokes, and do you cook like that?
Yeah, maybe Vicky might want to answer this. Yes. Well, like I said, this
No.
movie paralleled some of my life. I took a 15-year hiatus from Hollywood when things weren't going that good. And I was a fairly successful restaurateur and chef of a restaurant
Oh,
in Los
wow.
Angeles. I had 20 employees, and
Oh.
I ran a restaurant. I owned it and ran a restaurant for many years. So I do cook. And and as far as jokes, there was a line in the movie where uh, I talk about my mom used to tell jokes, you know, and my mom, my real mom, may she rest in peace,
Mhm.
was like a joke tell. Like, I grew up around people telling jokes. So one of the artistic things that I do, I'm not, I mean, I write, I act, that stuff, but I'm also a stand-up comedian, and it's
Oh,
probably
wow.
it's probably no coincidence. And it was my mom, you know, and I got my joke telling skills from my mom. Yeah. So I do know tons of jokes that you know, matter of fact, there's a scene where Vicky and I tell her a joke, as you know, in the film,
Mm-hmm.
her to go out with me. I don't know if that's a spoiler
Yeah.
alert, but I don't think it is. Anyway, point is that what we were doing, we did several takes, so she would be surprised. I told her a new joke every time. I didn't
Oh.
joke over and over again. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. And is there, of course, like without giving a lot away, but is there a certain scene that you both had the most fun doing together?
I really like the scene where we're yelling at each. Well, I'm yelling at you, basically.
Yeah, that's a great scene. Yeah,
Where,
Jessica, one of our other writers, had a big hand in that scene. Actually, there was so
Oh, nice.
I wrote like the majority of the script, and it was always good. It was this is my first screenplay, so I don't really fancy myself a screenwriter. Although I managed to crank out 100 pages of this, but then one of the actors who Vicky and I connected through PJ Marino was one of the other writers. He came on board, and we did a couple of drafts together. And then Jessica, who was supposed to play the Lara character
Mm.
at the beginning, did a pass with PJ and I as well. And with a little movie like this, you know, you don't have really money to pay people. So I said, look, man, we wrote this film. So the three of us are the writers. That's it. There's no who did this, who did that. You know what? We together made a good film, a good script, great, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without those two. So anyway, but anyway, Jessica, who had I mean, she's heartbroken about it. She really was involved with this because she wanted to play Lara, and she had a scheduling
Mm.
conflict. She's also an actor, and she couldn't play the role. And Vicky was supposed to play a different role, and that's when we heard that story earlier. And then we called and said, "Well, hey, you know, just do this one," you know. And so that's kind of how it went down. But I give that scene that Vicky referred to. You know, Jessica really had a heavy hand in that scene.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And was there any funny or cool stories from the set?
I have one. It was, well, I don't know if it's funny. I don't know if it was funny, but uh, there was a scene where I really can't say it without a spoiler. There's a scene where it appeared that Vicky did a pratfall, and she didn't. She fell.
yeah.
Oh,
Fell.
no.
She
I mean,
fell.
legs up, head cracked.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it was very and one of the crew members like kind of took light of it, and I guess for that 1 second we didn't know
Yeah.
that it was real, and somebody said something that they shouldn't have said, and oh my God, we got our first day. We got, yeah, we took care of, I think I took care of you the best I could, but then I took the guy in the back, and let's just say he he saw a side of me that he probably will never want to see again.
Yeah,
That was an interesting day on set.
wild day. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was probably the first day I was actually sick, and I didn't know I was sick yet. So,
Hmm.
and I slipped on plastic, and I just went back, and I tried to stop myself, and I hit my arm, and it was a whole, and I just started
Oh
crying.
my
I went to the
God.
bathroom and just started crying. Oh boy, this is Hollywood.
Mm. Oh
But that
my
was an
God, that's
interesting day.
crazy.
But I think the universe, if you believe in that kind of thing, really wanted
Hmm.
film to be made. I mean, we didn't have enough money, we didn't have enough time, and yet it all just kind of laid out. We didn't have a ton of obstacles. And I will say this as one of the filmmakers is that it seems like anytime we had to pivot, whether it be, you know, a different actor, a different day, a different location, a line that wasn't in the script that was said instead. I think it made the film better at the end of the day. Anytime I think we had a pivot, so you know, I don't think any filmmaker will tell you there's your idea and then there's what you wind up doing. And I think every time that we had to do this and we did this, well, it made the film that you saw, and I think you dig the film
Yeah.
that you saw. So there you go. You know, I just think that the universe had a big component in this film being out in the world.
Mhm.
Definitely, yes. And this question is for you both. Like, if you two were doing karaoke, what would be your go-to karaoke song?
Easy. Midnight Train to Georgia. Done.
She's like, done. Okay, that's my song.
And we had a party after this. I think you did sing that too. We
Yeah.
had a rap party afterwards. We had karaoke, and I'm more of a karaoke guy, so I have a few songs. But if you got to put a gun to my head, I'm at this moment by Billy Vera and the Beaters.
You sang
Okay.
Party too.
I did sing that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a great song. That was on the final one of the episodes of
Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
As back talking about pivoting. All right. That song, again, I can't say this without a spoiler alert. Okay. That song was supposed to be in the film,
Oh, okay.
and we couldn't afford it. Billy wouldn't give it to us for what we wanted. And
Mm.
and again, you have to pivot. So one of my dear friend Carmen Grillo, who's currently a guitar player for Frankie Valli and used to be a guitar player for Tower of Power for many years.
Oh, wow.
He's a dear friend of mine, and he turned me on to this songwriter, Dan Moffat, who wrote an original song for the film that took the place of the At This Moment song,
Okay.
and that song qualified for an Academy Award. We didn't get close to even the short list, but we were one of 80 songs that qualified for Oscar this year. And then they got down to 15. We didn't make that list. But there was a day we were in the newspaper. Our little 2-cent movie was sandwiched in between the Elton John documentary and Despicable Me 4. There it was, Don't Say It. So
Right where we belong.
right where we belong, between Elton and Despicable Me 4.
Yeah.
That is a great feat.
So again, there's your plan, and then there's what you have to wind up doing. And
Yeah,
and that was better, because we wouldn't have gotten that accolade had we been able to afford the other song, because it wouldn't have been an original song that was specifically written for the movie, which was one of the criterias of being qualified for an Academy Award for Best Song. So.
Oh my God, that is really cool. Wow. And I guess the next question is for you both. Basically the thing I'm gonna ask you is, where could fans follow you both and keep up with everything?
Okay. Victoria?
Instagram is probably the easiest. Instagram, yeah, Vicky, and it's Victoria Kelleher on Instagram. It's kind of because I suck at social media, as Rich knows. I'm terrible. I don't post anything. I did a one-woman show this summer at the Hollywood Fringe, and it was like walking on glass to put things on Instagram. I just hate it.
Yeah.
I need a person who can pretend, like, just be the person who promotes me, because I don't like promoting myself.
Yeah.
But if I am going to be anywhere, it will be on Instagram. I mean, I'm all over TikTok, but I'm a voyeur. I just watch everybody. I don't.
Okay.
Well, for me, you would not think I hate it because of how much I post, but it's strictly out of necessity for getting trying to cut through the Hollywood noise so people could see our little movie. Trust me, under normal circumstances, I'm not nearly as obnoxious in posting on social media as I have been the last year.
Yeah, you're good at it.
But to answer your question, my handle is at richgrosso61. But the film has its own at Don't Say It Movie. And we have at dontsayitmovie.com is our website, which pretty much has where you can know anything and everything, especially the most important thing, which is, we're streaming this. I mean, I don't know when this is going to air, but we're dropping February 7th, and we're going to be on virtually every streaming platform that you could rent or purchase a film. Certainly the big ones that I know off the top of my head are Amazon. We're on Apple TV. We're on Fandango. I mean, there's a bunch more, and those are all will be launched on the website, and they're all over our social medias too. Even Vicky, I got Vicky to post. It's on hers too right now.
I'll post.
That's February
Awesome.
7th. So please, whoever was watching, please, bless you. Please, rent or buy our movie. And if it calls to you and you like it, please give it a good review. And if you feel like it's in your heart to do that, and also if you think it's something that is worth or was worth watching, who's ever watching this right now, please tell your friends, man, because there's a zillion of these little movies every year, and most of them don't see the light of day. And it's because it's really tough without millions of dollars to cut through the Hollywood noise. And what I like to say is, we got to Bernie Sanders this bitch. We got to just grassroots this. And
What I'm going to do, I'm just going to sue you. I'm going to sue you.
For sexual harassment?
Yeah. And
okay,
then,
cool. Yeah, let's do that.
Counter sue me. And it'll be a whole, it'll be all over.
The whole thing.
It'll be all over it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Hey, whatever way you could do it to get more eyes on the film, right?
Yeah.
That's it. No bad press, baby. No, I guess I'm sure there's some bad press in it. And we didn't have a lot of drama. We did not have a lot of drama. We had a lot of good people working for nothing. That was the one, I guess, good thing about making a movie for not enough money. I mean, everybody had a reason for being there, but nobody had to be there. Anybody that was there wanted to be there because there was no reason. Because there was the money wasn't keeping anybody there.
No.
Well, thank you both so much for coming on and doing this. It was really nice meeting you two, and everyone has to go out and see that movie, rent it, stream it, whatever.
February 7th, baby.
Valentine's
Valentine's Day, great date movie, really.
Yes, it is.
Great date movie. Yeah,
exactly.
It's an older When Harry Met Sally. It's a When Harry Left Sally.
Well, again, thank you both for doing this. It was really nice chatting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have to go get my cat out of the cabinet again. So
yeah,
it never ends. Oh my
Tell your cat to not eat all the bread. I'm coming over for a sandwich.
Peanut butter and jelly.
I'll just hold her until we're done.
I think are we done? Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.